you originally decided to reach out to us because you wanted help with Facebook ads,
Mm.
right?
So that's right. So I actually thought Facebook ads was the one thing that I needed in my business so that everything could work. But it turns out it's so much more than that. And it's not just Facebook ads and it's not just one thing. And I would probably go as far as saying, being able to turn over $500,000 in this 10 months, it wasn't just because of Facebook ads alone. It was actually because of everything else. It was because of the funnels we chose. It's because of the automations that we integrated. It's because of the proof of concept that we validated and mindset and everything else. So, yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of people. Well, I mean, I'm sure some people watching. If you are watching and you've tried Facebook ads and they haven't worked, let me know.
So I had that opportunity on the table and I really wanted to crack it open. And, I thought that Facebook ads was just going to be that magical thing that was just going to get me sales. But it turns out that, yes, it's been amazing, right? Once we got all of that right. But it wasn't the first step. It wasn't the next step for me. Um, yeah. But so essentially, I guess, I wanted to join your program because I wanted to learn, and I even remember like in your course, you said something that really stood out to me. And I love this. You said, um, your current set of skills and abilities is allowing you to be exactly where you are right now. And that's so true because like if I knew how to make more money, I would have made more money, on my own. But I didn't. And so if you want to go to that next step, if you want to excel, if you want to grow, like you have to learn. And so I wanted to take that leap with you and apply it to my business.
Yeah, skill acquisition is
Mm.
the more skills you require, the faster you grow.
Yeah.
So let's talk about when you did start. What
Mm.
happened from there? That was, I kind of said
Yeah.
earlier, your first week or so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So week one, we jumped on a momentum call and I told you all about my business and like the assets, I guess, that we had. And then so from there, we kind of developed a customized strategy for me to follow. And, like we all know in the first week, once we got that messaging right, once we got that psychology right, we turned over 21,000 in the first 7 days, which is the 7 days before that was $0, But just to kind of step back so everyone knows, in week one of the course is all about proof of concept. So, as entrepreneurs and as business owners, we all have ideas, right? But it's really when we can validate and distinguish the fact that this idea is actually an opportunity. And they're the things that we do. So,
Yeah, I think this is like, I always see people talk about their strategies where they're saying, this is not the way to achieve something, it's this. Like people say all the time, like a program on how to grow your business without ads because you don't need paid ads. It's like, no, like all of these things are tools. Like we
yes.
use email for you, different people use ads, different people use organic. It's not like one thing is the way and everything else isn't. It's about identifying strategically what sequence and what tool you want to use at the right time.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and what I love, we were talking earlier, you were telling me how the proof of concept is such an important thing.
Yeah.
You can be trying different things. If you don't have that proof of concept that people want what you have,
Yeah.
it doesn't really work.
Exactly. Like ultimately, like the market is the judge. And a lot of the times, like with our ideas, we go to our friends and family, we're like, hey, do you think this is a good idea? And everyone kind of just says yes, because they're being encouraging or something and or something. And but really, until you go to the market and it's actually validated and okay, this is an opportunity, like this is the judge. So I ended up going with the JIT webinar funnel. But I think
Let's just take a
okay,
step back
hold back.
in
Yeah.
case people don't know what a funnel is.
Okay.
Basically, when you're advertising online, so by this point, Aisha's got proof of concept. She knows that people want what she has, as evidenced by the fact she made $21,000 in 1 week.
Mm.
Then it's about, once we've got that proof of concept, we want to start amplifying that. And so what we use is what's called the sales funnel.
Yeah.
And basically that is just a series of steps that's going to
So that worked really well for us.
yeah. So
That's kind of when things got exciting.
um, so I think like one thing that for anyone who isn't aware of like what our program is, what we do, like we basically try to give you the tools to generate clients and sales. But all of those strategies we haven't just like come up with.
50% will jump on the webinar, and then 10% will convert and 10% will buy. And that kind of stayed true for us, and kind of became quite predictable, which was really great, until we kind of entered the paid space. The conversion wasn't 10% would buy. It would be more like 5%, or I've got different metrics for now how I track things now. But yeah, but we've had over 80,000 people come through our webinar since we started. So that's It's good for the database.
So again, for anyone who doesn't know, the JIT webinar stands for Just in Time Webinar. It's an automated webinar. Basically, a webinar is a presentation, a sales presentation. The reason the JIT webinar works, that's basically the strategy that you used.
Yes.
And then once we'd built that out, you then moved into paid ads.
Correct. Yeah. So this is the reason I started the program, right? The paid ads. And I honestly muscle tested week. Like, I just knew nothing about Facebook ads before I started. And it just really overwhelmed me. And it was this massive like roadblock. And it's just such a good feeling to be able to just sit here with you right now and actually say, like, I actually really enjoy them now. And it's been working out really well. And I feel like I've really just learned so much, which is exactly kind of what I, wanted to get out of the course as well, so I feel really happy about that. And so like we started out quite conservatively with our ad spend. So we started, at just $30 a day, pushing people through from the ads to our webinar. And then as time goes on, in the last 7 days now, we've actually just got to $2,000 a day, which if you told me back then that I'd be spending $2,000 a day on Facebook ads, I'd be like, you're crazy. But I have this number system now where I know, like, for every 60 people that register, we know that we're going to get a sale. And it's kind of worked for us that way. And we've just kind of gradually moved up. But
yeah, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. And that's like a massive thing.
Sorry.
What you just said there, where, for every 60 people that register, you get a sale. So that's like a lot of predictability in your business you have now.
Yes.
So many people, they're like, well, I'm going to do a lot of different things to try to get a sale. I'm going to post everywhere and just run around doing things, and hopefully something might happen. But to be at the point where, for every 60 people register, we get a sale, and then you know exactly how to get those 60 people. Like, you just work it backwards to the number of clicks you need to get those 60 people to get the sale. It's just, it's that predictability of knowing that for every dollar I put in, I'm getting 3, 4, 5 back. Cool. Awesome. So you have set up the funnel, the JIT webinar. Then you've launched ads, selling $30 a day, now scaling things up. What happened after that?
So what happened after that is we then actually took time to optimize. So as I kind of mentioned before, I'm like kind of talking all over the place. We're kind of scaling now. So we're spending a lot of money every day. But kind of before we did that, we said, okay, like, we're making about 20 grand, a month with the webinars. And so we then went on steps of series to then try and optimize. So the things that we did was, the first thing we did was increase the price, because something that was really hard for me in the beginning was because, we're new to this and everything like that. Like, you don't have the confidence to kind of charge what you feel like you're worth. And so we kind of, went back a little bit and tweaked the prices to see, okay, like, will the market accept that? And so that kind of got us from like $20,000 to say $30,000 a month, which was good. And then we said, okay, like, that's going well.
How much, like, what percent did you increase your price by?
So it wasn't double the price. It was more like, it was like 30%
increase.
Yeah, I can calculate it. I should actually know this. Do you believe this? 150. No, so it used to be 155. Okay. Anyway, we'll do maths later, but it was probably around, it wasn't quite double, but it was maybe like 35%.
Cool.
We increased the price.
And
So,
that allowed you to increase your monthly revenue by $10,000.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. So that's
Yep.
cool.
So we knew like,
A
pardon,
lot of
sorry.
people, I was going to say, a lot of people think that if you increase your price, you're going to reduce conversions, but often it does the opposite.
Yeah, you make more.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going to cancel that phone call. I'm so sorry. I should have put it on flight mode. Exactly. And because we did enter the market with quite a low price. So yeah, we just, altered it and it worked out for us, which is good. We're only testing. We're still, new at this. And so we tested it and the market received it quite well. So then we went on to find another thing that we could optimize. And for us, that was, I noticed in your course, in resources, you had this email sequence through Active Campaign, and it was like a 30-based, trigger-based nurture sequence for our business. Again, silver platter scenario, all I had to do was download the template from Connor, import it into mine, and obviously change all the emails to my messaging and obviously. And yeah, that was a massive game changer. So that got us actually from 30,000 to 60,000. It basically did everything, because what I found was we were putting people through these amazing webinars, and yes, they were buying, but then after that, we just kind of never spoke to them again, which was rude. And so we decided to actually, nurture them. And maybe if they weren't ready at that point in the webinar to make a purchase, perhaps when they receive, more points of contact from us, that they will be. So
I kind of just want to talk about this because I spent so long working on it. So
thanks for that. I enjoyed it very much.
So, as I was saying before about like in the program, we give everyone our funnels and our templates, but with different funnels, we have different automation sequences. And so for the JIT webinar, basically what happens is someone might attend, but then they might not buy, or they might register and they might not attend. There's all these different like situations that people might have. And so we have these different congruencies for different outcomes. And
like your course has been really great. It's kind of like that mentorship that you want. There's, the forum, and every time I have questions, which I've had quite a few, I would just, chat to you guys in the messenger. And it's, I think it's important to have mentorship and people, helping you along the way that have already created the process. So why should you recreate it, right? With the funnel templates and with the email sequences and stuff, like those assets are invaluable and have been so incredible to the growth of our business.
Yeah, for anyone who's just joining us, at the start, I said one thing that stands out to me from Aysha is that she is continuously improving over the long term. Like a lot of people, they'll come in and they'll have a great first week or first month and they kind of disappear. But Aysha's continuously coming back, learning more, improving, optimizing. And the way to look at any sort of mentorship or program or training is like a friendship, right? You don't, a good friendship is not you meet someone and then you drill them with questions for an hour and then never speak to them again. But that's how most people try to consume content. They'll go and watch a bunch of videos and they'll never do it again. A good friend.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched your course twice, and both times I took away different things each time. And there's certain sections that I know that when I'm ready, and when I'm ready for that, I'm going to go back to that, So I've done that a few times, even with, I didn't start with the email sequence. That's something I did 2-3, steps of the evolution down the way, but I knew it was there, but I wasn't ready for it, but I'll come back to it. And so it's a constant evolution, and it's exciting because I feel like we're just getting started. But
yeah, that's one thing I want to like come back around to for everyone watching, is that we're talking quite a bit about like webinars and emails and all these things. And I want to just like place emphasis back on the fact that without that proof of concept, all of these things are kind of useless. So if you're watching this and you're like, the thing I need is a webinar, or I need the email automations. It's probably not that. Like it might be, but it's probably not. It's probably the foundations.
Exactly. I thought Facebook was a magical wand that I could just wave around and it would get me sales. And look, it has now, but it wasn't the next step for me. It wasn't what I needed next.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah.
So what's next? The goal to
Yeah.
get to 100K. Anything else?
Look, that's pretty much fine with me. For now, that's my next step, and I'm just going to stay focused on that. And I'll definitely be reporting back to let you know how I go. Yeah, it's been a continuous learning journey, and I'm
Now you've become an expert with Facebook ads. If anyone watching would like to speak to us about if we can help, you can type the word evolution in the chat below, and someone will reach out from our team, see if we can help. Other than that, anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to talk about? Or floor is yours.
Floor's mine. No, I think I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's been a great journey. The whole team, you guys have been super helpful, Kim and Tyler and the whole group. So super thankful for you guys. And yeah.
Tyler's watching right now. He's like, yes.
Oh, is he? Hi,
Tyler. I'm not sure if he is, but.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Well, that's I guess that's